Welcome back to your weekly roundup of everything that happened in Zenless Zone 0, where we will cover everything that you missed inside and outside of the game. Even though the 2.4 livestream was just the other day, there is still plenty of new stuff to go over. But speaking of, if you haven't yet watched the patch 2.4 livestream, I do have a recap video going over what was shown off there, including the kits of Dylan and Bnnuy, as well as a special interview with one of the story writers, answering some questions about what we can expect in the future. But coming back to what's new this week, starting on Wednesday the 19th, we will be getting a double drop event for the combat simulation stages, which will let you earn more upgrade materials each day until the 24th. So just before patch 2.4 drops. This will be a great opportunity to stock up on Denny's, XP, or skill chips needed for the upcoming characters Dylan and Bnnuy. And then later on Friday, we will have our regularly scheduled Shiyu defense reset. This time around, the buff for the stages will include an increase to the days dealt by stun agents by 15%. Obviously, this is because the new cycle will overlap with the release of Dylan, who is a stun agent herself. The other part of the buff is a 15% increase to sheer damage, as well as a 50% crit damage increase to a stunned enemy. And as for some other in-game news, yesterday we started to see the drip marketing revealed for patch 2.5 already, with the reveal of ZHAO, a physical defender S-rank agent. Interestingly though, there was no drip marketing revealed today. Normally there would be 2 days of drip marketing back to back, but it seems like for whatever reason, the second character for patch 2.5, who is very likely going to be Yidhari, has yet to be revealed. There is a lot of implication behind this pattern of drip marketing though, but we'll go over that in a bit more in the speculation zone. The reason why Yidhari is almost guaranteed for patch 2.5 though also relates to a dev talk that was revealed earlier this week, where the designers answered some frequently answered questions. One of the talking points was about exploration in patch 2.5, to which one point was that there would be a new way of getting around, which was related to Yidhari's abilities. Other main points brought up in that talk were that multiplayer is indeed going to be coming, confirmed now from the devs themselves, as well as buffs to standard characters in patch 2.5. I want you to remember those 2 points because those will come up in the speculation zone. But for now though, it is time to fulfill a contractual obligation. If you would like to top up on some polychromes yourselves, why not try using LD Shop? Especially considering you can get top-up options cheaper through LD Shop than you would in-game, with discounts of up to nearly 22% for new users. For example, purchasing an internet membership through LD Shop costs only $3.87 compared to the $5 if you were to purchase it in-game. And topping up is really easy. All you need is your in-game user ID and your server. Once you fill those in, you can click on top up, choose your payment method, and within seconds your order is completed and you can see the rewards in-game. And yes, you can even get the double bonus for first-time top-ups. LD Shop is a trusted and authorized service that is 100% safe and legitimate. Also, if you use my link in the description when you register on LD Shop, you will also get a 5% off coupon to use. And if you spend over $80, you will also gain a VIP membership, which can earn you free internet memberships and regular coupons. Once again, you can check out the description and the pinned comment to start saving with LD Shop. Moving over onto the social media side of things though, starting off we have another birthday celebration, and that is for one of the OGs of the game, Nicole. Remember when she was the go-to support in the early stages of the game? Ah, good times. So happy birthday to Nicole, as well as anybody else who has a birthday in the coming week. And then we have some freebies in the form of some new wallpapers. The first batch of wallpapers all featuring Yidhari. Don't worry though, they are all safe for work, at least for the most part I guess. And there's also another set of wallpapers featuring the various story and event images from patch 2.3. The links to download all of these wallpapers will be in the description below. Otherwise though, as for social media, that's about it. So now it's time to dig into the juicy speculation zone. First things first though, there is a lot of weirdness surrounding the drip marketing of course. The fact that there is a weird pause in between ZHAO and whoever is next, again most likely Yidhari, but also assuming that Yidhari is the other banner for patch 2.5, in what world would you not want to have her as the first banner, where she would get all of the limelight? Think about it. They always have the bigger, grander agent first, as they are usually the one to get a big part of the main story, and they also act as the big headliner and big draw for that patch, with all of the hype being around them. For example, in patch 2.4, it has Dylan front and center in the promo images, with Bnnuy sort of towards the back only. And now, here is where we get into some very spicy speculation as to the reasonings of this. And that is the possibility of a double banner with ZHAO and Yidhari running at the same time. But further than that, possibly maybe even having ZHAO as a free agent being given out to everyone. In the past, the only other time that the quote-unquote other agent was drip marketed first was Harumasa being dripped before Miyabi, only to then have them both be running at the same time, with Harumasa being given out for free. And funnily enough, the coincidences don't stop there either. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it could be that yet again, the one time a limited S-rank male agent has a banner, the very next banner on the patch afterwards ends up being something busted like a Void Hunter, with Bnnuy being right before patch 2.5, similar to Lighter being before Miyabi, or Hugo just before Yishen. And not only that though, but with how much talk has been had about patch 2.5 and all of the exciting new stuff that'll be coming around from the devs, which they have now confirmed too in the dev talk I mentioned earlier, so that's stuff like multiplayer co-op or buffing of older agents. Does this not seem like patch 2.5 is going to be once again a sort of reinvigoration of the game, trying to draw in as many eyes as possible for a pseudo soft reboot or something like that? Or alternatively, think of it as like the grand finale of the season 2 patch, so now is a great time to get back in the game and play through the entire season 2 to get the full story without having to wait for pauses in between. Similar again to how patch 1.4 was described as a sort of relaunch of the game and also the climax of season 1. What better way to help draw people back into the game than by saying, hey, we've added co-op into the game, and if you've stopped playing, don't worry, some of your older agents are now getting buffed too, and there's also a brand new Void Hunter waiting for you to pull on their banner. And on top of it all, there is now also a shiny new free S rank as well, in the form of ZHAO. But of course, this is very wishful thinking. It would be very nice to get a free S rank, but don't take it as gospel just yet. For all we know, somebody else entirely could be drip marketed tomorrow, and that just throws all of this out the window then essentially. But another point that I'm really hoping is not a valid reason as to why ZHAO might be free is that she is a defender, which I did kind of gloss over when I initially mentioned her drip marketing. But we've only ever had one other S-rank defender in the form of Caesar, and don't get me wrong, I do love Caesar, but it's very hard to say whether or not ZHAO will actually be, for a lack of better words, a popular meta pull. So maybe if the devs are predicting that many people, if given the choice of having to pull for either ZHAO or Yexing Wang, in the hypothetical scenario where it is a dual banner, side by side, and you only have enough polygram for one of them, if majority of players will be expected to choose Yexing Wang, they might not have much faith in ZHAO's banner, so they could be handing her out for free anyway. But something even more speculative is what happens after patch 2.5. I did include in the meme at the start of the video, and I did mention patterns of a limited S-rank male being just before a supposedly big patch that has a Void Hunter and all that other stuff. And the last time this happened, the patch after the big one, was a sort of musical related agent patch with ZHAO. So maybe after patch 2.5 we finally get the idols? Patch 2.6 will line up with one of the dates shown off in the banner image of the Angels of Delusion's Twitter and YouTube page after all. And in the 2.4 livestream, the story writer did mention being excited about meeting with an old friend. And reminder, we did technically meet up with one of the idol girls back in the summer event, where she became friends with ZHAO and the siblings. But as always, this is all speculation and very wishful thinking. I'm assuming that Yexing Wang will absolutely be the next drip marketed character, but whether or not ZHAO is actually free or not will be another question. But I mean, come on, why else would ZHAO be shown off first? With an ominous delay as well between her and the next character, if not to build up hype for something big. Otherwise, thank you all for watching until the end. If you enjoyed the video, liking, commenting, and subscribing is greatly appreciated. Until next time, bye bye!